How's it going, fellow travelers? In today's video, I want to share with you 10 characters that I highly recommend you building. These characters are all either free or available as 4 stars, so they're pretty accessible to everyone. While you don't necessarily need them to progress through the game, investing in these characters will definitely make your journey a whole lot more smoother and enjoyable. So without further ado, let's just dive into my top picks. So now we start with number 10, and actually, I couldn't narrow this down to one character, so we have a 3-way tie between Kujo-Sara, Farazan, and Goro. I chose to make this a 3-way tie, as while they have the potential to enable enormous damage, their effectiveness is limited to specific team compositions. For example, Kujo-Sara shines in a team with Raiden, or Farazan pairs well with Wanderer or Shao, and Goro is a valuable addition to Itto teams. That said, if you don't have these characters, don't worry. As we move up the list, you'll start to see that the other characters are more versatile and can fit into many different teams. Next up in number 9 is our favorite cat's tail bartender, Diona. Despite being a 4-star character, Diona offers a lot of utility to your team. When it comes to 4-star shield characters, Diona is the cream of the crop. Not only does she provide shields for your team, but she also has a unique talent that increases your movement speed when shielded. In addition to that, her ultimate heals you while you're within its radius, and Diona has a passive effect that reduces enemy attack by 10% within its radius. Diona is most often used with another cryo character in order to provide cryo resonance and even helps funnel some cryo energy to your main DPS while holding her skill. Next in the list at number 8 we have Dendro Traveler. Unlike the other characters on this list, it's the Traveler that's completely free for everyone to obtain and upgrade. They are one of the best free-to-play options for playing Dendro off-field, and in fact better than Cole at that job. The Traveler is a solid choice to start building a Dendro team, especially if you don't have any other strong Dendro characters or just need one for a second Abyss team. So if you need more Dendro coverage, consider the Dendro Traveler as an option. In number 7 we have a character who's pretty underrated nowadays, Sucrose. Few years into the game, and Sucrose is still the best Anemo 4-star at this moment. She's a super good catalyst for providing elemental reactions, and even provides some crowd control, although not as much as Venti. And although she is no Kazuha, she also fits into many top teams like National, Vape, Freeze, and Hyperbloom. If you have sacrificial fragments lying around, and some constellations in Sucrose, you may want to consider giving her a go, especially if you don't have Kazuha or Venti. In number 6 we have Fischl. Thanks to her trusty companion Oz, Fischl can deal continuous off-field Electro damage. She's great in teams that require consistent Electro application such as Superconduct, Taser, and Quicken. With the recent addition of Dendro characters, Fischl is even more versatile and can be used to create powerful elemental reactions. Overall, she's a solid character that's definitely worth investing in my opinion. Next in the list in number 5 is Yao Yao. Yao Yao is a great option for people looking for a Dendro applicator. While she's not a direct replacement for Nahida, Yao Yao does provide some nice Dendro application for teams such as Bloom, Hyperbloom, Spread, and Aggravate teams. Additionally, she provides healing. One thing you may want to consider due to that though, is that you don't want to pair her with Kokomi, as it would result in having 2 healing characters in one team, but apart from that, really good character. In number 4, we have everyone's favorite deputy leader of the Arataki gang, Kuki Shinobu. Even though she wasn't considered that good when she first came out, she became super cracked when Dendro came out. With Constellations especially, she has become a staple unit in many Hyperbloom teams and actually helps deal a lot of damage. If you've already built some other characters on this list and you haven't built Kuki yet, this is definitely one you're going to want to add to the list. And now in number 3 we have Xinyan. Just kidding. Actually in number 3 we have Bennett. Bennett is still one of the most flexible and essential units to own, but in my opinion, he is brought down to number 3 in this list due to not being very synergistic with any of the new Dendro teams. He still fits into popular teams like National and other Vape teams. He's one of the easiest characters to build with spare artifacts, and helps with pyro resonance, or even just slots into many other teams just to help buff and keep characters alive. Still a pretty relevant asset in my opinion, so do have him built if you haven't. Now claiming her spot in number 2 is Xiangling. She is a powerful pyro applicator with no internal cooldown on her elemental burst, Pyronado, meaning she can provide some of the highest off-field pyro application, which is invaluable for almost all Vaporize teams. On top of this, her Pyronado also retains all buffs, even after buffs would normally end, or if she's switched out. Another reason to use her is that everyone gets her for free for clearing floor 3, chamber 3 in the Abyss. And one of her best weapons, the Catch, is also free in the game, and can be gained over time through fishing. I literally don't see a reason not to have her built. And now finally, in number 1, we have Shinchu, who I decided to put into this list above all others for 3 main reasons. My first reason is that he's one of the characters which most people probably have by now, potentially up to C6. Another thing that gives him the edge is that he's still one of the most effective 4-stars in plenty of teams as old as his release, and also in newer teams too now. In case you've been living under a rock, some of the teams he dominates in may include National, Vaporize, and even Hyperbloom teams now. He has been consistently one of the best characters since the launch of the game, and this hasn't changed, even years after the game's launch. And now the third reason I placed him in number 1 is that he is such an easy character to build and use. Simply, give him a good emblem set with plenty of energy recharge, a sacrificial sword, hopefully with some refinements, and then you're ready to go. You use his E, his ultimate, his E, and you've already charged up your next ultimate, and your characters are going to be cracked. And now with all that said, I hope you found that all helpful. Do you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Until next time, happy adventuring.